I woke up in a cell, went to the door kicking and shouting. I asked where I was. The screw replied, "You're in prison for attempted armed robbery." The shame and embarrassment that I felt that day was heartbreaking. I brought this all on myself. This is where gambling can lead you. I started gambling when I was 14. I put £1.50 in a slot machine and won £150. Every day after that I was back on the slots. Unbeknown to me, my addiction had begun. Every spare minute I had I was on the machines, gambling alone. It was never with anyone, it was never a social thing for me. I started selling chocolate and drinks in school to feed my habit. I fell in with the wrong crowd, started smoking weed and then moved on to selling cigarettes and joints. The money I made was all for gambling. The drugs got heavy and so did the gambling. I started going to the bookies at the age of 16, playing on the £500 slots. These slots could take £100 every 20 seconds. It was unbelievably stupid looking back now. The dopamine hit released when gambling is hugely addictive. It's an awful disease. When I left school I was still selling drugs to feed my gambling habit. I then moved on to theft from loved ones. I felt like an absolute scumbag but I just couldn't stop. It was so exhausting, I was up and down, my full body was under so much stress. I was now in my early 20s, I'd been on a drugs bender for weeks. I lost £5,000 and desperately needed that money back. I had the insane idea to rob a shop at knife point. I was arrested minutes after the offence. I woke up in prison 3 days later. I'd spent a night in hospital after overdosing on Valium. I'd been to court and pleaded guilty. I was really aggressive in court. I'd become this horrible person that I didn't even recognise. I was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. Little did I know prison would save my life. I started a patent course in there. I carried this on when I was released and was qualified in 2 years. I got a start with a local company. I relapsed a few times, so I decided to see a counsellor through a Beacon Counselling Trust. After a few times of arriving and not going ahead with it, my parents finally came in and sat with me. There was definitely no running then. Sitting in a room being honest about the things that I'd done with my parents listening, but admitting it and saying it out loud was a total different story altogether. Counselling definitely helped me a lot. I believe I'm now in control of my gambling. It's been a 20-year cycle for me, start to finish, and I'm definitely glad to see the back of it. Myself and my family have suffered massively with gambling-related harms. I apologise to them for the hurt and pain that I caused. I love them and thank them for never giving up on me when I'd given up on myself. When is your day one? Save the date and celebrate. It's a massive deal. I hope that you can stop the same as me. I need to keep myself busy because I have an addictive personality. This isn't a bad thing, you just need to get addicted to the right things. I've recently been promoted. I do a lot of charity work and have a successful decorating business. I have a beautiful family. My wife and I have been together for 20 years. She's been through it all with me. I am massively blessed to have her by my side, mentally and financially. We have a 5-year-old boy. People say you look after your kids. He looks after me daily. My family and work is my new addiction.